Morning, everybody. Well, as promised, we are live again. And so this is going to be the future of Ashley and I every morning, getting up, getting ready, shooting the shit with you guys. Um, yeah.
You got to get their attention with something right off the bat, David. You should have okay.
What we need to start doing is do jumping jacks before we jump in, so we come in and we're just like on fire, energized. We'll try that tomorrow for everyone. We'll do some vigorous exercise before we jump on, so our energy is just raw at 9:30 in the morning. So we're got some fun stuff we want to go through. I think we're gonna quickly chat about yesterday. Ashley updated the website because obviously we put calendars and to-dos in there, and so that's a fundamental next level for Linda. And so, of course, we had to update and have all those features on the website. And then we updated our founding partners program. So we're going to go through that really quickly. And we'll kind of chat about like what we're expecting to happen out of that so that you can all follow along. But the other one I think that's a real interest is a conversation came up for Ashley and I yesterday around how to sell on LinkedIn. And so we see all of these campaigns that go out into your inbox, and we're going to just chat through like the effectiveness and some of the things we've gathered there, and then what social selling means to us. And I think that's going to be really exciting. So stay on for that, because if you're trying to sell on LinkedIn, we're going to spill the beans on what works for us and what doesn't.
So
anything else?
No.
I think
there might be other stuff, but who knows? Who knows where we segue?
See where we go this morning. Cool. So run us through what you've done on the website, and then let's rip through the founding partners program and kind of dissect some of the expectations from the website, what we want it to do, how we want it to close, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so we updated our call to action. We moved away from where we were. We don't have to get into that, and we went back to a founding partner program because this is ideally what we want to sell. So let's just make it really easy for ourselves. Most of the traffic that comes to our website anyway, there's some organic traffic happening from Google, but it's usually we're seeing LinkedIn is sending people over, and that's from David's profile, my profile. They jump and see what Linda's about. So founding partner program, we're trying to basically like de-risk this, make it high value, make it easy to come into, a no-brainer for somebody who, whether they're a decision maker or not, they'll just jump at the chance to get started. So we went with, for program highlights, 30-day money-back guarantee right away.
Actually, can you zoom in a tiny bit on it? One more maybe, so that there we go. Yeah, now we can read it. Cool.
And so originally we were doing a 30-day free trial. This is just basically the same thing, but backwards. We're willing to go 30 days. If you don't like it, you can just get your money back, but it puts money in our bank right away. It also engages somebody to actually, be engaged around Linda and get it working for them. So yeah, we switched that. Risk-free. Founder pricing for 1 year. So we're looking at $99 a month. You can cancel anytime, so you're not locked in. But what this does is, as we raise the price in, could be 3 months, could be 4 months. We do see it going up, but our founding members get to lock in for $99 for the next 12 months and get an amazing product as they are on the journey. Bonus 3 seats included right now. So if you have team members, you can get 3 of you in there for the 99, and then you can add more seats for 20. And so that's the calendar, the task management, the email, everything she's doing today, Slack integration, smoking deal. So yes, right now she is going into your inbox, doing the label creation and the sorting 24/7, keeping your inbox organized and surfacing what matters. She's doing the draft emails, so she has them ready for anything that needs a reply. And how she drafts those emails at first is she looks at your most recent 100 sent emails and comes up with a voice. So it's great for somebody, usually with new users, we encourage them to use Linda for 7 days, see what she's doing. But as you continue to use her, she's going to get smarter. She's going to look at, well, we'll just say learning loops today. And also, you can always go in and update your voice at any time. Which again, we can get into later, not a big deal, but early access to more beta features. So right now we have the calendar set up, we have the Google Tasks, we have the Slack integration where you can talk to Linda. Example here, book a 30-minute product review with the team next week using my template. And so you can go in there at any point, or maybe she'll prompt you about like, hey, you've been booking these types of meetings. Is there an agenda I should include? Again, as people use, we're going to build more things in, but the convenience of everybody, I say 90% of the people using Linda right now have Slack. And so it's a great place for us to build into to talk to her today. So you don't have to go learn a new software.
Ashley, can I ask you a question on this? Because I think what's interesting for people to think about the page that you build. You've kind of followed a little bit of like Alex Hormozi's offer creation, a little bit of Dan Martell in the way that they write these offers. And so just so if because most of the people that kind of watch us are other founders. So just trying to understand what we're really trying to do in this is build value for you as the user, de-risk you coming on board, and then also lock you in and say, hey, by coming in. So we build value a couple ways. The one is obviously the features in the product. The next one is the fact that we're locking in the price for a year. And then we're also making sure that you know that you're part of the journey. Because I think that's a big part of when you're trying to launch a product and go live early or go early with something. We're not looking for the people that we're looking for early adopters, the people that want to be part of something special. So that's what we're trying to actually get from you, or communicate to you, so that you know that's who we're looking for on this page. And so you can see next one is like, so you have the program highlights, and then you have why founders love it, right? So this is going to be like a little bit of reinforcement. So obviously why founders love it. If you're a founder, you're like, oh, well, why do other founders love it? Right? Risk-free, you're exclusive, and then you get fast wins.
Yeah. One we should put in there is almost like a done for you, because that's a huge one, is when you don't have to onboard. You don't have to spend time.
Almost like the like some indication of, well, you need it to feel like it doesn't take any extra work. Like, I mean, obviously, Linda, Viv went in last night and was connected and running in about 3 minutes, right? So that's something that's really important for people to know, is like, this isn't, you don't have to dedicate 5 days to set this up. You're not setting up HubSpot. You're not that. If you like it, you like it and you keep it. If you don't, you shut it off and you're gone. And it's like, a commitment of 10 minutes to set it up and see it go to work. And if you're interested in like actually tuning it, then you might use another 30 minutes, but it's up and running like that. And so I think that's something that's worth communicating to the user, because I mean, every time, going back to like writing offers and writing these pages, what you're really trying to do is take away the friction from a person buying and from a person getting to first value in the product.
Yeah.
So what do you have after that, just so we can walk through and see like where your mindset is with like getting a person? So if you haven't decided to buy at this point, The next thing we do is our social proof.
Social proof, how it works, 4 easy steps, why we're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
who it's for, and then meet the team.
Yeah. Cool. So if you're watching this and you write incredible landing pages, give us some comments, tips, tricks. Tell us everything that you're doing. We want to learn. And we're happy to share what we're doing because we want everybody to see what we're thinking and what we're trying. And we'll come back around here in a couple, maybe a month, and we'll go through this again and we'll tell you what we actually found happened with this landing page. And probably what it'll be is when we update it and change it to the next version, we'll go through and let you know what worked and what didn't work in it.
Okay.
Cool. What's I mean, you know what I did all day yesterday? I just was debugging Slack. So I got it to the point where you can chat. I should say I spent about 4 hours yesterday. Here's one for you. This one will. Slack has persistent memory in it. So when you make a change to the way that the app is set up, so I had some of the settings. I just when I set up the actual app in Slack's app interface, I forgot to put in one thing in there. So, anyways, I went through and I debugged for about 2.5 hours and I got it. And so then I'm trying and reloading and like reinstalling Linda. Well, the problem is that the persistent memory is in Slack's app that's on your computer. So I actually this morning shut off my whole computer, and then when Slack restarted, boom, it worked. So that's one for you. If you're building a Slack integration first time through, and you're trying to actually get it to debug, just remember that because it has persistent memory. So you may need to restart your whole computer to get the because I can't get Slack to actually restart on mine. I will be honest. So I had to restart my computer. There you go. That's what I did to fix that problem. Let's talk about social selling, Ashley. Well, actually, let's talk about, you want to talk about that campaign information first, and then we'll talk about social selling?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So this one's interesting. Can you just blow up can you like increase the size of the image on the bottom? I think there we go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh
boy. Okay. So I get these all the time, and so does Ashley. And that is this is the thing that happens. You're on LinkedIn, you get a connection request. You will either have a message with it or it won't have a message with it. And you'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I'll open it, or I'll connect with this person. And so for the record, if you're trying this with me or Ashley, what I do is I look at your profile and I see if you're an interesting person, and I probably read the message, and I decide if you're somebody I would like in my network, I will accept it. And then 99 times out of 100, I will just say, hey man, this isn't a good fit for us. Welcome to the network. Hope we can add value to you, or something like that. But so what people are trying to do is they hit you with this blurb, and it's like automated. It's coming from HeyReach, or for one of the systems that automates this outreach. And so I have been super curious, and Ashley and I have been kind of talking about this. What are the conversion rates on these things? Because I've been on LinkedIn for 15 years, not to date myself too badly, but definitely 2006. So 11, 20, yeah, almost 20 years. Shit. And so I've never bought anything off of anyone trying to sell me through my DMs on any platform. Just put that out there for you. Never purchased yet that way. But what I think is interesting is we've always wondered if they work because people keep doing them. So somebody's got to be seeing some return. So I asked Gordon, I said, hey man, like, what do you think cause he'd sent it. And I said, when you run these campaigns, what are the acceptance rates? And what's that look like for you? And so this was pretty interesting because he was saying 10 to 20% acceptance rates, and then 5 to 15% response rates. So to get at 5% those responses, if you run 1,000 people through at a 10% acceptance rate, I think actually we saw higher than that. I think we were seeing like sometimes we were at 35 and 40% depending on the different campaigns, because we were running acceptance but without those sales stuff out behind. I think those are also, just for the record, really good to have running, because you should always be building your network, and it's a great way to get connections. If you ran those for 3 or 4 years, you'd have 25, 30,000 connections on your LinkedIn profile, which would make you have a lot of reach. So just remember that. But so if you think 10 to 20% acceptance, so that's 100 to 200 new contacts out of 1,000. And then somewhere, if you go 5 to 15 after that, you're looking at 10 to 60 responses. So those are the kind of interesting numbers, because if you get 10 responses, how many of those conversations can you actually get to a deal? If they're really good ones, maybe 2 out of 10. You'd be really, really doing well if you did that, but it's possible. So, if you look at those numbers, you could get 2 to 10 deals out of 100 contacts out if you were really good at writing offer and pinpointing who you were sending it out to. So I think that's just some really interesting numbers to share for all of you who might be thinking about doing that. Ashley and I are doing a little different. We are looking at social selling. So we want to just go through what we think social selling is, or at least our definition of it. And so Ashley has kind of figured this out and mastered it. So tell us a little bit about your
mastery and no. I think just going to touch on like a light part of it. I was reading this post this morning, and they were talking about how you have to, you can't just post on LinkedIn and hope people come. You need to have some outreach happening. So that was a form of outreach that we just talked about. But in the post, all the recommendations, there was one thing missing, which was commenting. And so one of the things that I do is I spend time each day commenting on either our leads posts. And so if they're posting weekly or daily or whatever the frequency is, I go in there and support and engage them. And sometimes that's even before I ever reach out. But at least they're seeing me. They're generally replying to a comment, because that's what you do. You want more engagement on your post. And so they're seeing me 2, 3, 4 times. And then generally they'll reach out to me for a connection, and we start a conversation. Or influencers who are talking to our ICP, continually going in each day and commenting on their post. It doesn't, it's maybe 15 to 30 minutes every day doing that. But you can see here for profile appearances, this is in the past 7 days. I had 21,000 appearances, so up 152% from last week. And 87% of those profile appearances were comments versus posts and network recommendations. It's just like low-hanging fruit to get yourself noticed and to start conversations that are generally with your ICP, if you're commenting in the right place.
Can you show us your profile, please, Ashley?
My new and improved again.
Yes, new and improved.
Changes every week almost. No, I'm just kidding. Every 2 weeks. There's usually an update.
So the big, I mean, obviously you could walk through this, but there's a couple things on here that are really, really important. And once you show them, then we can go back and you can show what it looks like when you comment on somebody's post and how the whole cycle works.
Yeah, I mean, this is the main thing. When you're commenting, they see your name and they see this. Uh, they call it headline, I believe, and the company that you're working for. So that just needs to be, well, who you're helping and basically what you're doing. And then
it's your hook, right? Because that's the thing. Like when they read that, they need, if you don't do anything else on your whole profile for what we're doing, that's the most important piece, because that's what you get. You get Ashley Alexander and that line, and that's it.
mm-hmm. And maybe they jump to your profile. Maybe they just like the headline and then they message you, which has happened. Or they click follow, depending on what your button is. Anyway, and so you want to also be making sure you check in with your followers and see who's following you. If there's an ICP in there, reach out for a connection, start a conversation. But yeah, a profile that it's all about the founding partner program now, top to bottom.
Okay, Ashley, can you go to into your notifications and then just grab one of the people that you've commented on and a response, and then I just want to show people this. So if you zoom in a little bit, because this is pretty small still, see if we can get one more zoom out of it. Perfect. Okay, so now what you can see here is, if you look at Ashley's profile, not the actual box beside, but if you look at her profile where it says Ashley Alexander, do you see exactly what it says? It says, I'm building founders at the 24/7 executive assistant we all need. Every time that she comments on a post, every time that she responds or has them respond, that's what everyone sees. And so this is like the little takeaway, right? So Alex is responding, first of all. So that's great, because all of a sudden now you have Alex Boyd who's chatting with you. So there's a huge amount of power in like creating these relationships through these conversations. And I think that was something that it took me a while to get about social selling, in a sense, or I think a better way to think about it is being present on the platform that you're trying to build a reputation on. And so if you're on that platform, you need to be talking to other people. So how do you talk to them? Well, DMs you're only talking one-to-one, but if you're having conversations and you're adding value to their posts and you're putting some effort into it, you're building relationships with all these people. And after a while, you have people that have very big reach that know you because you've shown up on a regular basis on their posts. And yes, we all know that the biggest ones probably have 3 or 4 people in social media that are running all these posts and conversations, but you're still building that relationship with the entity that's around those people. And so that's one side of it. And that's where Ashley was saying, you're commenting on people's posts and then, you get a connection request. So if you break down the types of people that you can comment on, you have your influencers, you have your ideal customers, you have maybe some thought leaders in the space. Who? Customers, yeah. So so let's say influencers and customers in the space. Separate the two. When you're commenting on influencers, what you're gaining from those is you're getting seen. So when we look at influencers, we're looking at the people that are talking to our customers, for the record. And if they send out and they get 300 people comment on their post, what you'll find is that all of a sudden your comment might get 100, 200, 300 impressions, Ashley. I think you had one that got
thousands. 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 impressions. So imagine now what you're doing is you're adding value to them because they need people to comment on their stuff. you're also getting piggybacked by the reputation that they built, and your profile, that one line tag, everybody that pulls those comments and scooches through them sees Ashley Alexander's building the EA that every founder needs. Oh man, I want to look at that. And so that's how that game works. And then the second side of it, and I think this is more the actual activity of selling, is going out and commenting on people that you think is your ideal customer and adding value to them. Because think about this, as a startup founder or as a human being, not many people get as many comments on their stuff as Alex does. Okay. So if you want to help them, go in and comment on their stuff. Have them, like we use Breakhold so we can see when people are posting, and we go in and we put comments and we put likes and we put views on their stuff so that we're helping them get a little lift on their LinkedIn algorithm. And they, in return, usually do what Ashley said, and that's send out, hey, welcome to my network. Thank you for being helpful and helping us gain some traction. And now you have a really organic conversation start with them, and you started that relationship by helping them. And I think that's something that really resonates with both Ashley and I, and that is help the people in your network. Help the people. That's why we're building in public and showing you the things that we're doing, because we want you to be able to see what works for us and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. And just the other one, people always forget, your customers. If you show up on your customers, yeah, they might not have a big following, but they have friends. David, what's your network consist of?
Founders.
So who are we trying to sell to? Founders.
Yeah.
And and all of our customers are founders who are friends with other founders. So all of a sudden they go, hey David, this Ashley who's showing up, who is she? Why is she commenting on your stuff? Is she helping you? How's she in your network? I like what she's doing. And then you just show, it's an often forgotten one, and it's probably one of the most important ones, because it also just stays connected with the customer when you're not reaching out every day.
Which I think, going full circle, Ashley, to some of the things that we talked about, is this is why we don't try and run customized cold outreach with something about your company and, oh, congratulations on this thing, is because we feel like the most important way we can add value is investing our time into your activities. Mm-hmm. And so just keep that in mind as you're building out these systems. As Ashley continually tells me, we're not automating anything until we figure out how to make it actually work.
Yes.
And special shout out to Viv. He kicked me in my butt on Friday and said, if you want to get your first 50 customers, you just need to reach out to everybody in your network personally. And so I spent about 2 hours last night reaching out to everybody who's a founder on my Instagram, asking for help. So if you're a founder and you're watching this, share it out. Like, subscribe. Ashley and I are going to be doing this every day, Monday to Friday, and sharing what we're doing, what we're building, and hopefully it can help you. And have an amazing day.
Bye.
Bye.